January 26, 2022. One man decides to turn off the lights of North Korea. Behold, keyboard fingers stained orange dust. Digital execution begins. This graphic motion represents a fatal blow to their isolated network. Server destruction visualized. The code hits like a wrecking ball through the Kim regime. Pyongyang's propaganda glow hides a rigid reality, now flickering on the edge of collapse. Total blackout. This visual void proves one hacker is faster than an entire military. Millions trapped in cold silence as man shut North Korea's entire internet overnight. Our presenter sits alert, framed by screens announcing a total North Korean digital blackout. A forest green sweater masks the hands typing furiously, their movement frantic against glowing keys. Confused guards patrol silent server racks. These blinking red lights signal a collapsing infrastructure. Global media panic. Anchors point at screens. Unable to explain this unprecedented digital event, the satellite data map tells the story. Internet traffic lines dissolve into digital dust. Back in Miami, the hacker leans back in his quiet, messy apartment. Chill vibes. Snack bowl contrasts blurred successful attack notification in pajamas. The man who crashed a country watches classic alien movies. Peek indifference from behind, we see the duality. A frantic news report and a simple script, the cinematic cliché. U.S. agencies, spies, and raincoats scramble. They are clueless. Generals debate over paper maps. The lack of faces amplifies their aggressive, tense postures. A simple smartphone trend, #North Korea down. How the world digests a massive geopolitical event, a digital conceptual void. The dot vanishes. North Korea's whole web presence is erased, the ultimate juxtaposition. A man reaches for a chip as an entire domain closes. The monitor dies, an official's blank face reflects in the dark digital abyss. Technicians scramble as green lights turn to frantic red. A high visibility panic ensues. In the newsroom, journalists point at the wall. North Korea goes offline, breaks. A faceless general slams the table. His medals shine, but he is powerless. Golden light particles stop flowing. This glitch represents the severed pulse of a nation. Back in Miami, the hacker sits in his messy room. A digital ghost story. Snack dust meets high-tech keys. This shot captures the absurdity of modern cyber warfare. The script func_nk.py finishes. One simple done command topples a whole regime. P4X munches chips while experts on TV analyze the chaos he casually created. Rusted firewall dissolves, Hermit Kingdom exposed. Missile launches reflect on his forehead. P4X watches the regime from his Florida desk. The media credits a major government operation, but it is just one guy's work. The under key clicks. Lime green code flows, cinematic proof of a silent digital strike. Pyongyang's propaganda lights glow, unaware that their entire network is about to vanish. Industrial server lights turn an ominous red. The heart of the regime stops beating. Nitrogen monoxide signal bounces on the glass, reflecting a confused technician's perfectly smooth face. U.S. Cyber Command analysts stand in unison. North Korea is flashing offline on the map. A high-stakes briefing shows a massive X over Pyongyang. The tension is documentary-grade. The contrast. P4X slumps in his chair. Watching aliens while history is made, a hand reaches into a crinkled chip bag as the total blackout alert vibrates. Duality. A guard stares at a dead radio. P4X casually eats another chip. Detailed crimson fabric in an unlit cigarette, the aesthetic of a modern, faceless agent. 10 spies in black turtlenecks sit in Pyongyang, planning a strike against researchers. A glowing map of America targets Florida. The hunt for the hacker begins here, a single click. The data pulse travels across the Pacific seeking its silent target. A notification arrives. An associate sends a file, but it's actually a digital trap. His reflection on the glossy screen watches as the cursor hovers over download. Danger. Safety first. P4X uses an air-gapped machine, a mess of colorful Ethernet cables nearby. A USB drive enters the sandbox. Hidden code spreads like a red geometric web. Conceptual malware seeps through a crack in the wall. The perimeter has been breached. A USB drive enters the sandbox. Hidden code spreads like a red geometric web. A conceptual breach occurs as malware seeps through a wall crack. The perimeter has been compromised and broken. The perimeter has been breached. Tilted in curiosity, P4X realizes this code is far beyond any common street hacker. In Pyongyang, the spies watch their screens die. Connection lost in cold Korean characters. A spy stands in a dark hallway, body language tense under flickering fluorescent lights. A Google security blog confirms it. North Korea is officially targeting researchers like him. Google's blog confirms the hit. North Korean actors are actively hunting security researchers now. On his Miami balcony, P4X wears his hoodie, framed by the neon magic city. Condensation on a soda can. The only chill thing left in this heated shadow war. The enemy's lair, a single lit window in Pyongyang where state-sponsored hackers never sleep. Shift change for the regime's digital soldiers. They think their tracks are perfectly covered. A badge hits the desk. For them, it's a job. For him, it's now personal. Who_targeted_me. He types the question that will change the course of cyber history. Lazarus, Kim Suki. The names reflect on his face. The predator has finally been spotted. His apartment stands like a glass fortress. One man against a nation starts now. The courthouse stands cold and brutalist. Justice here is slow, heavy, and incredibly gray. Pacing his living room, he realizes the law moves at the speed of paper. How to report a nation-state. Even Google doesn't have a simple fix-it button. The dial tone hums. A lone citizen waiting for a government that isn't picking up. The FBI reception is a sterile void where high-tech complaints go to move slowly. In his hoodie, he looks like a gamer, not a victim of international espionage. He slides the evidence across the desk. It's a roadmap to a global threat. Agents walk by, talking shop. To them, he is just another file in the stack. The interview room is quiet. Just a metal table and the weight of indifference. He gestures to his laptop explaining the breach, but the system isn't listening today. The red light of the recorder pulses. Every word is captured, yet nothing happens. Conceptual reality. His report is just one more folder in an infinite hallway. He walks out disappointed. The government's protection is just a cold stone pillar. He rips off the visitor badge. If they won't help, he'll do it himself. He rips off the visitor badge. If they won't help, he'll do it himself alone tonight. Sunset in Miami. Surrounded by code, he decides to be his own federal agency. A politician talks about diplomatic patience. Translation: we are not doing a single thing. Sudo apt-get install. The first command of a digital revolution. No more waiting. The digital divide is clear. A no-entry sign that he is about to ignore. Network scanners scroll across his eyes. He is no longer a target. He's hunting. His report hits the pending bin next to a half-eaten donut. Total government classic. The Bureau tosses his genius report into a bin. Bureaucracy is basically a slow-motion glitch. Coffee in hand, watching the city. If the feds won't fight, a hacker will. The forum post is right. Nobody is coming to save the day. Time to act. They launch missiles. He launches scripts. This is the ultimate David versus Goliath story. Custom tools engage. The office transforms into a digital cockpit of pure, unadulterated revenge. Clicking accept terms on the dark web's finest software. No turning back for him. A deep breath before the storm. The quietest hero in Miami is now online. One blue window glows in the dark. The one-man war against a nation begins. Pizza boxes and alien movies. The humble headquarters of a digital revolution in Miami. A fresh glass of water and a dead portal. Nanera is officially off the map. The official slams the phone. Bureaucracy can't fix a network that no longer exists. Thousands of packets fill the folder. This is the ammunition for a digital siege. mentally simulating the collapse. He sees the code breaking before the servers even feel it. 48 hours on the clock. The countdown to a total national blackout has begun. The calm North Korean shoreline. A silent documentary shot before the digital storm hits. Spicy chips and mechanical keys. The breakfast of champions for the world's coolest hacker. Orange dust meets high-tech hardware. The ready prompt is waiting for the final command. 6 monitors cast a violet glow. One man in pajamas is outgunning an army. UFOs on the screen and chaos in the wires. He is the ultimate nonchalant protagonist. The purple backlight reflects off his finger. One press to change the geopolitical landscape. Execution. Cascades of green text flood the room. The data hit is officially live. Glowing needles rain down from Miami. A global trajectory aimed straight at the peninsula. 2 guards stand under a dim lamp, unaware the digital world is burning around them. Servers start whining. A mechanical scream before the regime's digital heart finally gives out. The overload warning flashes red. A total blackout reflected in a dead server screen. Checking the airline status while snacking. Air Koryo isn't flying anywhere on this network. The 404 error snaps into view. 1 man, 1 shirt, and 0 functioning websites. The Kwangmyong Bridge dissolves. A nation's gateway to the world turns into digital dust. Movie loud, country down, saucers. Elites stare at frozen screens in a dim cafe. The ultimate digital game over. Clicking the mouse won't help. The spinner is frozen, just like the nation's connectivity. The traffic map turns a bruised, angry red. North Korea is officially bleeding data. Saturated in red light, he watches the collapse. The coolest hunter in the game. Propaganda screens tear into static. The regime's giant digital voice is suddenly, blissfully silent. Officials huddle around a dead router. Panicked body language in a cold concrete hallway. Orange dust washes away. A mundane kitchen chore follows a record-breaking cyber strike. Crisp water on hands. The international crisis is handled. The snack mess is next. A fresh glass of water. Ninera, the official state portal, is now a digital ghost. 100 million packets sent. A perfect success rate for a legendary solo operation. The official slams the phone. No one can call for help when there's no dial tone. An alien saucer explodes on screen. The perfect cinematic backdrop for a country's collapse. The chips are gone and the internet is at 0%. Mission complete, shoulders drop. The one-man army finally exhales. It's time for some well-earned sleep. 4 a.m. in Miami. A nation was deleted tonight, and the architect is dreaming. The Pentagon awakens to a digital mystery. High-stakes bureaucracy meets a complete intelligence vacuum. Global news studios ignite. Anchors speculate on a phantom war they can't even explain. Nation-state attack, the headlines scream. Pyongyang is a dark, grainy ghost on every screen. On his Miami couch, the architect of chaos watches the world guess his identity. Generals lean over glowing tables. They are hunting for an army that doesn't exist. A finger points at a grass spike. Metals shine, but the strategy is useless. Press flashes pop. The analyst speaks with authority about a truth he hasn't found. U.S. Cyber Command? Even the experts are just guessing names in the digital dark. The world imagines a massive military sword, but it was just a digital pebble. The contrast. P4X is literally shaking with laughter, finishing off the very last chip. Twitter is a dumpster fire of secret government theories. He scrolls through the madness. Only a government could do this. He mocks the screen. Reality is much funnier. The conceptual Goliath takes the blame, while the real David is just chilling out. Undiplomats whisper in marble halls. Geopolitics just got wrecked by a single laptop. Retaliation for missile tests. The note is prestigious, serious, and completely hilariously wrong. Silicon Valley coders stare at the death ping. Even the geniuses are totally stumped. A coder shakes his head. They're looking for complex math and a simple revenge. Overinterpreting the code, they see state-developed weaponry. He sees a quick afternoon project. London reports in the rain. Big Ben stands tall while the internet falls short. The reporter speaks to millions. Pedestrians walk by, unaware a nation was just deleted. Log off. The simplest click ends the most lopsided war in human history. A general rubs his forehead in frustration. He's losing a fight against a ghost. Unidentified source. The most powerful labels are used to cover up a total mystery. Naval carriers roam the Pacific looking for a fleet that is actually a bedroom. Bunker officials scream into radios. The silence is the only answer they'll ever get. Static and shadows. The regime's communication lines are officially a dead-end street now. Bedtime in Miami. The moon shines on a man who just won a war, perfectly still on the pillow. The world's panic is just a distant, funny dream. Earth from space. North Korea is still dark. The world asks who. He sleeps. Midnight in Miami. Coding behind a wall of white light, he's a digital ghost. The URL is typed. The Funk project is live. Revenge now has a home. Inspecting the logo among encrypted drives. A shelf of secrets for a silent war. A skull over a flag. The logo screams what the world already feels. Access denied. A virtual roundtable in the void. Hacktivists gather to join the coolest crusade. Holographic data floats in the dark. The resistance is global, encrypted, and completely anonymous. Join the cause is clicked. One orange monitor lights up a new digital soldier. FBI headquarters at night. Black SUVs wait while agents chase a shadow they can't catch. Sunglasses in a dim office. The feds are finally reading the Funk Project's manifesto. On the balcony, he watches the Miami skyline. The city's pulse matches his own. Hood up, indigo jeans on. He's a phantom framed against the vibrant neon magic city. A searchlight sweeps past. He doesn't blink. The law is looking in the wrong places. Tunnels of white light burrow beneath the iron wall. The digital fortress is being undermined. Leaking black data liquid in a bunker. A guard tries to patch a sinking ship. Breach detected. A panicked reflection in the glass as the regime's secrets pour out. Sunlight and laptops. A public park becomes the front line for a world-class cyberstrike. Identity unknown. He reads the news while a fountain blurs in the peaceful background. A stranger passes by in a sundress. She has no idea she's near a legend. Thousands of packets fly over the DMZ. The border is irrelevant in a pixelated war. Hard drives packed in a minimalist room. A nomad hero ready for the next move. The Faraday cage snaps shut. Brushed metal meets the precision of a master hacker. Press conferences and blue curtains. The world demands answers that the government doesn't have. A silent no from the spokesperson. A sea of lenses capturing a total mystery. Watching the chaos in a crowded elevator. He's just another commuter with the secret. In a world wired together, power no longer wears a uniform. It wears intention. One decision can echo across nations. One keystroke can rewrite headlines. The battlefield is silent, but the impact is global. If this story made you question who really holds power, subscribe, because the next legend might already be online.